Good morning, everyone. This is Patty from White Pine District Library, and we are here with another person who has chosen to work with animals. This is Stephanie from Heart Dog Obedience, and she is located up at Six Lakes area, and she's going to tell us why she's chosen to work with animals and also what Heart Dog Obedience does for people. So go ahead, Stephanie.
Yep, my name is Stephanie with Heart Dog Obedience Academy. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been drawn to animals. I grew up on a small hobby farm. My dad actually didn't let me have an in-house dog, um, but we had goats and chickens, and so I spent all of my time as a little kid observing their behavior and recognizing, like, the chickens. I would sit out in the chicken yard and recognize each individual personality and really get to know them. Then my dad eventually, when I was probably about 8, let me have a cat instead of a dog. So I spent all my time training the cat, all the tricks that people train dogs. So he would he would come when you whistled, he'd sit, he'd shake, lay down, roll over. He was a really cool cat. As I grew, um, all of my time was spent getting books out of the library about different
Out of the library, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. I was always the kid who was checking out all the animal books that I could find. I spent my winters learning about tracking different animals in the woods. So yeah, and it just grew from there. As I grew up and I finally got dogs, I began working with them. I went to school for training obedience.
Where do you go to school for such a thing?
I did an online program through Penn Foster, and that taught me more of. I already knew a lot of the behavior side and the training side, but it taught me a lot more about how to help others to train their dogs. So it really helped me grow as an instructor. I always say, I've had like a natural ability with dogs, so learning how to translate that to other people so that they can train, work with their own dogs, that was probably my challenge. So that's what I went to school for. I continued studying animal behavior, specifically canine behavior, and then I started my first training business in 2011. And then I stopped for a little while I had little kids, and 2019 Heart Dog Obedience Academy was born.
Awesome.
And so we help, I specialize in pet obedience and behavior. So I help families learn how to train their dogs in obedience and how to fix behavioral issues.
Okay. So, let me ask you a couple questions. You talked about your education and how you learned about it and how you started to enjoy being around animals and such. Um, if I need you, in other words, if my pet needs some help with obedience, how do I go about that? What do I do?
So I can be, I'm on Facebook, Heart Dog Obedience Academy. That's for those who are on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way to get in touch with me, is to send me a message. Also, you can email me. My phone number is right on my Facebook page, so you
Okay.
can text me or call me.
How do I know I need help, Stephanie?
If you're having reoccurring issues,
Such as,
well, there's all kinds of behavior
yeah,
problems.
there.
So, it really depends. If there's something that your dog is doing that's just interruptive to your life, and you're having a very hard time overcoming that, or you're trying to train your dog basic obedience and you're just not, they're just not understanding sit or down, or they're not recalling, I can help with those things.
Okay.
So,
Well, this is Riot, correct?
yep,
Hello,
this is Riot.
Riot. She's a he.
He.
He's an
Yep.
Australian Shepherd,
Yep.
which I love. And Stephanie's going to demonstrate a few things with Riot, and then we'll talk some more about. So
Yep.
go ahead, tell us what you want us to see today.
I will show you a couple of tricks that he knows. He's still in training. I always say training is a lifelong thing for dogs. So But he knows a lot of different tricks, and he does some performance stuff. But I'll show you a couple of tricks that he does.
Okay.
And I just use kibble for
Okay.
treats.
I'm going to come down here so that I get a good look at him.
Yep, right.
Okay. Oh, this is
Yeah,
Riot.
he's very food driven.
He likes it. He likes that stuff.
Yeah, that's what's nice about Australian Shepherds is they're very food driven. So
Okay.
easy to train tricks. Riot, pretty? Good. Hi. Hi. Sit. Hi. Hi. Good boy. Riot down. Stand. Bow.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Riot under. Under. Bow. Bow. Right. Good boy. Good boy.
I'd clap Stephanie, but I have to hold on. That is so cool. He is a trick dog.
He does, yeah, he does. He learns very, very fast.
Now you said you just started with him. How long ago?
No, he's almost 2.
Oh, he's almost 2.
Almost 2. So yeah, I started him pretty much like the tricks and stuff. I started him right when I got him. So
Okay. Did you get him right away as a puppy?
Yep, at 8 months.
Oh.
8 weeks.
Aw.
Yeah, and he started learning some of the tricks and stuff, but there's other things that he's still learning.
The social stuff.
The social stuff he's still learning.
So one of the things is if I have a pet who is having problems like with other dogs or maybe is aggressive, like as far as like barking all the time, that kind of thing.
Yep.
You can help with that kind of issue too?
Yep.
Okay. You have other pets too. What else do you have?
Do. So I have another Australian Shepherd she's in beginning of training.
Okay.
So she's a little less social than he is.
Okay.
But she's still good. She's a performance. I do like frisbee and stuff with her, so she's very high energy.
They do like frisbee, those Aussies, yeah.
Very high energy. I also have a poodle mix,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have a Boston Terrier and a Chihuahua.
Do you work with any other animals besides dogs? Dogs, I mean, it is called Heart Dog.
Yeah, I don't know. Not with Heart Dog. No, I used to work with horses, goats. A lot of the stuff I know about behavior can be applied to different species.
Okay.
But for Heart Dog, yeah, I only stick to the dogs.
Boys and girls, if I get in closer to Riot, if Riot sits down, you'll see how pretty Riot's eyes are. Riot has one brown eye and one blue eye. What is that all about there, Stephanie?
Yeah, so Australian Shepherds have a range of colors of eyes. They could be brown, they could be hazel, they could be blue, they can be amber, which is like a yellowish color. So his brown eye, actually, part of it is blue too, so that's called a marbled eye. So very pretty
I don't know if I
eyes.
can get close enough to his eyeball. Well, he says I'll get close to you.
What, Riot?
Hey, Riot.
I'll lure him with a treat. Riot, sit. Nope, sit. Wait.
Oh, there you can see his blue eye right there. It's beautiful. Mine had that too.
Good boy.
Okay, so one of the questions we always ask everybody is, if I love animals and I think that training animals might be my thing that I want to do, what do you suggest I do to get started on something like that?
Go to your local library, check out some books about, behavior or training. There's all kinds of books out there. Start reading. So as much as you can, read. Fill your mind with that information and go out and try it. So reading and learning about it and getting out there and trying new things so that you can adjust it to work for you. Okay. That's the best way to do it.
Also, if somebody was interested, could they come to you to just learn about some of those things and maybe watch you and that kind of thing if they contacted you?
Yeah, sure. Yep. I can do shadowing programs as
where
well.
Someone could come and follow and do what you do.
Yep. Or I can teach somebody with my own dogs, like with Riot.
Okay.
If somebody's very interested, they could come and handle him, and I can teach them how to work through some different things.
Okay, here come the questions. What is the most challenging one that you've ever worked with, or what kind of problems have you ever worked with that were the most challenging?
True aggression is always very challenging.
Which means aggression, like where they're really grouchy toward people or
Yeah.
other animals,
Yeah,
and
grouchy towards
maybe
people, towards animals. Sometimes,
possessive and
yeah, sometimes you get housemates who fight. So
fight and
yeah.
maybe even bite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And bite. Yeah. Those ones are always challenging, and sometimes they can take quite a while to rehabilitate.
Okay. And what's the most wonderful thing about your job?
Just being with the animals. So once you really learn how, because every animal has a different personality. They're just like people. So it's a lot of discovering how to communicate with that specific animal. And I love that challenge. And once you learn how to communicate with, a specific dog, then you just see this dog blossom and be able to do all these wonderful things. So,
is there a particular breed that you love? I see Australian Shepherds.
Yeah.
Is there another particular breed that you like to work with, and maybe one that is a little more difficult? Or isn't that the case?
Not really. There's not. I mean, I love all breeds. I think that every breed has a purpose. I think probably the most difficult ones to work with are the ones who have breed traits that just don't fit well with the owner's personality or
So it's more
lifestyle.
like a clash between what the owner is doing and what the animal needs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the boys and girls that come to the library, they know my current dog named Maggie, who is a border collie mix, came from the dog pound. And she comes to the library and stays and hangs out at the library sometimes.
That's awesome.
And Maggie lately and more has really been showing that she's afraid of loud sounds, thunder, that kind of thing. Any suggestions for Maggie and other animals, because the
Yes.
4th of July is coming up
4th of
and there's going to be
July.
loud noises.
Absolutely. So that is noise aversion, and there's a lot of dogs who have that fear of noise. So desensitization is probably the best method for that, which is a nice, long, slow method of desensitizing them to sounds while pairing it with a positive thing. So even if you look up on YouTube firework sounds and play it at a low level while they're eating their meals, and then slowly kind of increase the sound in that so they start desensitizing to it. Sometimes there are very severe cases, and sometimes we need to talk with a vet to discuss maybe some medication.
Something that
can
would
help
make her
them.
feel calmer.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Riot, do you want to do any more tricks before we say bye-bye?
Right? You stand? You want to do a bow? Right, bow.
Aw.
Good boy. Heel. Good boy.
Heel.
Bow. Take a bow.
And sometimes they're just dogs, aren't
Sometimes
they?
they are just dogs. Exactly.
And a pet.
They all have their personalities. And the important thing is to embrace that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Stephanie at Heart Dog Obedience, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Bye, Riot. See ya.
Say bye.